oscillator, then naturally H to the A multiplied by the inverse.
Will you just give me a chance?
Harassment's a federal crime, Mr. Corleone.
Emmett, about
Don't
your...
say it.
I really don't think they need to know the Brown family phone number. I don't want to record them right now.
Now if H stands for... Oh, think, Emmett, think. H to the A multiplied by the inverse of A. H to the A multiplied by the inverse of A. Oh. Oh, think, Emmett, think. H to the A multiplied by the inverse of A. H to the A multiplied by the inverse of A. Oh.
Doc will want to hear this. Psst, Doc! So, Doc, does this ring a bell?
Oh, think, Emmett, think. H to the A multiplied by the inverse of A. H to the A multiplied by the inverse of A.
Good grief! Is that me? I sound so...
Young?
I was going to say intense. I forgot how wound up I used to get.
Yeah, but what are you muttering about?
Oh, that's easy. It's Ivanov's conundrum. Just tell my younger self that H equals the Hamiltonian operator.
Won't giving him the answer mess up the time stream?
Only if it turns out that reality is actually nothing more than a holographic illusion created by the interplay of subatomic particles on a vast two-dimensional membrane.
So...
It'll be fine.
What was H again?
The Hamiltonian operator.
Got it. Hang in there, Doc.
Not the best choice of words, Marty.
Now, if H stands for one...
Will you just give me a chance?
Harassment's a federal crime, Mr. Corleone.
Maybe H equals the Hamiltonian operator.
What did you just say?
I said maybe H equals the...
Hamiltonian operator?
Yeah.
Great Scott! If H is the Hamiltonian, then H to the A multiplied by the inverse of H can only be the same as the expectation value for A. That's it! That's the solution to Ivanov's conundrum, the problem I've been wrestling with in my head all week!
I'm sure you would have figured it out by yourself in a day or two. The way you figured out how to build that rocket-powered drill.
Where did you learn so much about science?
Well, it's like this.
You know about my rocket-powered drill? Then there can only be one explanation.
What?
You're from the patent office! I confess I didn't quite know what to expect when I sent the paperwork, but I never expected this. Welcome! I'm at your service. What can I do for you?
Can I see your rocket-powered drill?
Of course, of course! Naturally, it's just a scale model, but it's nearly operational. I can show it to you, say, first thing in the morning?
Nah, that's no good. I need to see a full-size model. That's fully operational. Tonight. Otherwise, we'll have to award the patent to a competing inventor, Dr. McCoy.
It can't be done! I mean, it might be possible to construct a full-size working model in that time frame, but I haven't got the main ingredient for the fuel.
I'll get it for you. What is it?
190 proof grain alcohol. And you know how difficult it is to get a hold of alcohol these days.
Especially now that someone's blown up the speakeasy.
And besides, there's no way I can get off work until I've delivered the subpoena. It's part of the investigation into the business affairs of Kid Tannen. Is it vitally important you see that rocket-powered drill today?
Yes. Is it vitally important you deliver that subpoena today?
Yes!
Listen, I'll help you deliver it, and I'll see to it you get the alcohol you need. It'll help you get that drill finished by tonight. Deal?
Deal. Here's the subpoena.
Arthur McFly? I've got to subpoena my grandpa?
Shh! It's Kid Tannen.
Hey, I just saw him at the soup kitchen yelling at Arthur McFly.
I'm not surprised. Arthur does the books for his business.
What kind of business?
That's what the DA is trying to find out.
Let's go talk to him.
No!
Why not? Kid Tannen can tell us where Arthur's hiding.
Yeah, well, he can also have us fitted for a Chicago overcoat.
Hey, Miss Strickland.
Oh, hello, Mr. Corleone. Try not to draw any undue attention my way. I'm on the trail of a hot new scoop, as we in the newspaper business say.
What's the scoop?
I've heard rumors that something shady is going on at the Sisters of Mercy soup kitchen. It's under new management, you know. And, oh, we mustn't jump to any conclusions. Not till the facts are in. I hope to heaven it is just a rumor. That soup kitchen is the front line in the good fight. If it goes bad, what will happen to the Stay Sober Society? Not to mention all the charitable institutions that depend on me for soup deliveries.
Did you finish the story you interviewed me for? About Carl Sagan?
Yes, but those pig-headed editors at the paper rejected it. They said my story was slanted, and that I was glorifying a suspected arsonist. As if their stories aren't always glorifying the criminal vermin that run this town. This whole thing makes me so mad I could spit. Though of course I never would. There's an ordinance against it, and it's so untidy.
You make hot soup deliveries?
It's one of my many small contributions to the good cause. Healthy bodies, healthy souls, or so one hopes. I pick up barrels of hot soup at the kitchen, and I deliver them hither and thither. Hill Valley Orphanage, the St. Francis Xavier Ranch for Unwanted Children, Foggy Mountain Home for the Incurably Insane, Shady Acres Rest Home. Oh, I can barely keep track of them all. It's a very big job.
Hey, I can help you deliver soup. I donate a lot of time to charities.
Oh? Which ones?
The, Mario Brothers.
Ah, yes. The Italians do so many good works.
If you'll just fix it so I can pick up the barrels of soup.
Now hold your horses, let's not get overeager. I drive the soup cycle in this town, and I'm not about to turn it over to an upstart. But if you're well connected with the local charitable institutions,
Yeah?
you can let me know when they're running low on soup.
As a matter of fact, I do know a local charity that's running low on soup.
Oh? Who?
The orphanage.
My, how those little ragamuffins can eat. All right, Edna, just think of all those poor unfortunates and hold your nose. Mr. Donnelly!
Doc! Your younger self needs 190 proof booze to fuel his rocket drill.
Well, that could be a problem.
I know, we're both underage.
Underage, nothing. It's 1931 and alcohol's been outlawed throughout the country. Are you sure you're about to graduate from high school?
I'm kidding, Doc. It was a joke.
A joke? If I live to be 100, and I almost have, I'll never understand the teenage compunction to make a joke out of everything.
Hang in there, Doc. Hey, Miss Strickland.
Oh, hello, Mr. Corleone. Try not to draw any undue attention my way. I'm on the trail of a hot new scoop, as we in the newspaper business say.
What's the Stay Sober Society?
You haven't heard of the SSS? They do the most marvelous work, taking hopeless drunken bums and turning them into former hopeless drunken bums. I'm one of the founding members. And not to say that I was ever, well, you know. Anyway, we've always met in the cellar of the Sisters of Mercy soup kitchen, but for some reason the new managers don't want us down there, so we're stuck. We've got nowhere to meet.
I'm sorry about the way Einstein lit into you back there. I don't know what got into him.
Well, I hope you've learned to keep him under control.
Yeah, I found someone to keep him distracted.
Very good. Now let's see if you know your multiplication tables.
I know a place where the Stay Sober Society can meet.
Oh? Where?
The Brown residence.
You mean Judge Brown's place?
Yeah, I happen to be good friends with his son Emmett, and he's told me the judge would love to lend his place out for, you know, good causes like yours.
Really? Why, that's the most generous, public-spirited offer I've received in a month of Sundays. Please, tell your friend Emmett we accept. The meeting isn't due to start for a little while, so that'll give our people some time to set up.
You asked me to tell you if one of the local charities is running low on soup.
Does somebody need a visit from my soup cycle?
The insane asylum.
Whose inmates are crazy for soup.
have to deliver a lot of subpoenas?
Father's always sending me out to do these dirty jobs. He wants to expose me to different kinds of people. All he's exposed me to is a lot of new curse words.
If serving subpoenas is such dirty work, why don't you just say no?
Look, what's the worst thing that can happen to me on this job?
You could get shot.
Yeah, well, believe me, that's nothing compared to what I'll get if I mouth off to my pop.
Any idea where we could find Artie?
Not a jot. If only we had a way of tracking him.
This subpoena's for Arthur McFly?
Have you seen him?
For a few seconds in the soup kitchen, but I think he's gone back into hiding.
Brilliant deduction, Einstein.
How about Kid Tannen? What do we know about him?
He's loud, he's obnoxious, he's not very bright, and he doesn't like anybody getting in his way.
Yep, that's a Tannen, all right. This might be a stupid question, but couldn't you have designed your rocket-powered drill to run on a fuel that, isn't illegal?
Illegal? What does law have to do with science? Science has its own laws. You, of all people, should know that.
Some of us down at the patent office are wondering, what made you think of a rocket-powered drill?
Ah, that'd be Journey to the Center of the Earth by Jules Verne. It was a revelation.
Yeah, that's kind of what we figured. But couldn't you tweak your engine design a little so it runs on something else?
Like what?
I don't know, gas maybe?
Gasoline? Pfft, yesterday's news. You'll see. By 1940, automobiles will all run on pure alcohol.
Have you read The Time Machine?
H.G. Wells? Not yet, but it's on my list.
We'll get that subpoena delivered, or my name isn't...
Michael Corleone!
Yeah.
What the hell, Matches? You got kiwi all over my socks!
Sorry, boss.
Get out of here. How about you?
Huh?
I'm sitting at a shoe shine booth. You walk up. Either you're here to shine my shoes, or you got a death wish. Which is it?
I'm looking for a guy named Arthur McFly. He's my, sort of a relative.
Well, he's my employee, and he's very busy today.
Since you're Arthur's boss, you know where he is, right?
He's at the, office.
Where's the office?
I forget.
So when do you think Arthur will be leaving the office?
When I tell him he can leave the office. Hey, you missed a spot.
Isn't that Arthur McFly's hat you're holding?
It was McFly's hat. Now, it's my peanut bowl.
Could I buy Arthur's hat off you?
Could you keep your mind on your work, huh, shoeshine boy? I'm hanging on to my peanut bowl.
Can I have some peanuts?
Why not? I'm a magnanimous kind of guy. Go ahead, knock yourself out.
Don't mind if I do.
All right, break time's over. Back to work.
About Arthur McFly.
Yeah?
So, one more thing about that hat.
You're testing my patience, boy.
Never mind. I guess you won't talk about your business.
Why not? I got nothing to hide. I recently acquired controlling interest in the Sisters of Mercy soup kitchen.
Isn't a soup kitchen an odd line of business for a guy like you?
I like soup. Plus, I got a heart as big as all outdoors. Buff a little harder. I want to see myself in the toes.
How come you won't let the Stay Sober Society hold their meeting in the cellar of your soup kitchen?
We got other plans for that cellar, and it don't necessarily involve staying sober.
Hey, I represent United Charities of Hill Valley. Can you authorize me to pick up soup from your establishment and deliver it to some very deserving souls?
Nah, that Strickland dame's got the charity racket pretty much locked up. No point in giving her competition.
Edna Strickland thinks your soup kitchen might not be on the up and up.
That dame gets on my nerves. Got a great pair of gams, though.
How's that? Shiny enough?
Yeah, that'll do. Stay nearby, though. I scuff easy. Wait a minute. Didn't I see you at the jailhouse, John, with that Carl Sagan rat? I hope you weren't planning on trying to spring him, 'cause I got other plans. And keep an eye on Trixie. That broad's going all squirrely on me.
You got it, kid.
Well, you're gonna stand there like an okie, or you're gonna shine my shoes?
My mistake.
Yeah, you're a mistake, all right, meathead.
We'll get that subpoena delivered. I don't need to go in there anymore. Hey, how you doing, Einie?
Einie?
It's short for Einstein.
Einstein, of course, because he was a patent officer just like you.
Hey, cue ball.
What?
The truck just arrived with a fresh shipment of, soup.
Soup?
Well, this is the regular soup, and this is the special soup.
Right. Special.
Hey, what are you doing?
I'm spicing up the soup. It's my secret recipe.
Listen, this ain't the Savoy, and we ain't here to feed these bozos no fancy soup. The boss has got a business to rebuild, so knock off the goofing and mind your post.
All right. Just try the soup. Well?
I can see why you want to keep this a secret.
Looks like these pipes go into the basement. Excuse me.
You talking to me?
So this place used to be a soup kitchen.
What do you mean used to be? Despite recent changes in ownership, this joint is still available for the purposes of distributing food to the needy and the not-so-well-to-do. And no other purposes whatsoever.
Right. What's a tough guy like Kid Tannen doing running a soup kitchen?
Mr. Tannen purchased the soup kitchen from the Sisters of Mercy in an effort to repair his reputation as a respectable community figure after his fine name was besmirched by the malignant and malicious the actions of the misguided vandals that done burned down his place of business.
His speakeasy.
I cannot confirm nor deny any claims of so-called illegal bootlegging at the... Just eat your damn soup, pipsqueak.
Why is the soup in a barrel?
'Cause it's hard to ladle off the floor?
Could I have a bowl of soup?
You're a soup kitchen. What do you think?
What kind of soup is this? It tastes like...
Scrolle ribolita?
I was gonna say week-old cabbage.
Everyone's a critic. Look, all I got to work with is this 2-bit soup in a barrel and spice rack that hadn't been restocked since the Coolidge administration. What do you think I should do to perk this slop up?
Let's see. Have you tried... parsley? It might help to, complement the mellow flavor of the cabbage.
Compliment the mellow... What are you talking about?
Trust me.
You might be on to something, kid. Let me see what I got.
Nice rack.
Yeah, we got all kinds of culinary enhancements back there. The kitchen's for management only, rummy.
Whoa! There's no way I'm gonna keep that door open without some help. Huddle up, Emmett.
Huddle?
Just listen up for a second. Any ideas about how to get the hooch?
Hooch?
The alcohol, Emmett.
One might come to the conclusion that the hooch is being hidden in some of those barrels.
You're probably right, but which ones?
Now, if I could get my hands on some of those barrels, I could weigh them and compare their specific gravity.
Specific gravity? Come on, Emmett. Kids' goons aren't gonna let us do an experiment on their barrels.
Oh, I suppose you're right. We'll just have to ask the guy behind the counter.
What? Ask him if any of his barrels are filled with illegal moonshine? Get real here.
Well, I imagined a modicum of subtlety would be used.
Subtlety. Right. Emmett, I can't get into the door over there. Those tables are jamming it shut.
The door? So your plan is to just waltz in there and take a barrel of alcohol?
No, of course not. That would be stupid, right?
I'll say.
Still, I'd like to get that door open. I can't do anything from out here.
Well, it's a simple matter of physics. A lever, some sort of stop. Let me see what I can come up with.
There's no way I'm gonna keep that door open without some help. I better not talk to him. I don't want to mess up his timeline.
What is it, kid?
Okay, I've got some more ideas about your soup.
Do tell.
Let's see. Have you tried salt?
Salt? What, do you think it's too bland? Too mild? I didn't put too much pepper in it, did I?
I just think it could use a little more salt.
No accounting for taste these days.
Eureka!
Emmett,
Yes?
any ideas about how to get the hooch?
Hooch?
The alcohol, Emmett.
One might come to the conclusion that the hooch is being hidden in some of those barrels.
You're probably right, but which ones?
Now, if I could get my hands on some of those barrels, I could weigh them and compare their specific gravity.
Specific gravity? Come on, Emmett. Kids' goons aren't going to let us do an experiment on their barrels.
Oh, I suppose you're right. We'll just have to ask the guy behind the counter.
Why? Ask him if any of his barrels are filled with illegal moonshine? Get real here.
Well, I imagined a modicum of subtlety would be used.
Subtlety. Right. Oh, that's interesting.
Just a little mechanical ingenuity. In the end, the door is open.
Yeah, good job. We'll score that hooch somehow.
I'll keep cogitating.
Pretty neat, Doc. Nope. I'm still not getting through here. But at least those tables are propped up now.
What is it, kid?
I still think the soup needs more flavor.
The kitchen's for management only, rummy.
Whoa! Nice rack.
Yeah, we got all kinds of culinary enhancements back there. The kitchen's for management only, rummy.
Whoa! Looks like these pipes go into the basement.
What is it, kid?
I still think the soup needs more flavor.
Ah, Miss Strickland. Come for some more soup?
Come now, Mr. Donnelly. You know I wouldn't set one foot in this mockery of all that is good and decent if the poor of Hill Valley weren't so dependent on Mr. Tannen's overblown show of generosity.
Was that a yes?
Just give me the soup before I gag on the hypocrisy.
I'll tell the boss you said hello.
I'll just bet you will.
Edna picked up the barrel of hooch. Now all I have to do is to get it from her somehow.